It's just gone 6 o'clock. That means two things. We've just heard the very rowdy Hardy-Does just above David Higgs's house here in Johannesburg. And it also means that our contestants on this, the second episode of David Higgs' hashtag Cooking with a Cause, or for a cause rather, they've started cooking. If you've just joined us for the first time, don't worry. I know it sounds mad. We're going to take your hand. We're going to take you through it. But it is probably one of the most exciting cooking shows you could probably watch on the internet right now, at least. Right next to me, I've got David Higgs. We're going to speak to him a little moment. He's making as if he's busy and he knows what he's doing in his own kitchen. But after he took some fire to avocado last week in the first episode, I've got my doubts. But anyway, more of that in a little moment. If you've just joined us for the first time, David Higgs's hashtag Cooking for a Cause.
I love these oaks.
Hashtag Cooking with the Hardy-Does is all in aid of the wonderful work being done by the Inner City Can Collective, doing some fantastic and much needed work for our at-risk communities in the inner city of Johannesburg. We're living in the time of a pandemic, and on top of needing so many things that so many people need right now in terms of their health, in terms of putting food on the table, we really also just need to keep our spirits up. And that's what we've seen in leaps and bounds and bucket loads when we had our first episode of hashtag Cooking for a Cause that debuted last week live on David's YouTube channel that's been very busy during lockdown, if you haven't noticed, if you've been living under a rock. And that's what all of this is about. Along with our wonderful sponsors that have made this possible, we're going to take you into the kitchens of ordinary South Africans who love food, have put their hands up and say, hey, I want to cook for a cause, and hey, I want to take on David Higgs. And if you don't know anything about David Higgs, he's kind of knows his way around the kitchen and a few ingredients. He's put together a box of ingredients. We'll find out a little bit later what that's all about. But if you missed what happened last week, we've got a quick little highlights reel for you to have a look at what happened. David Higgs's hashtag Cooking for a Cause. Now, I know a lot of you probably think, oh, Marcel, we know you're there for the food, and you would be right. While we've been speaking, when the clock struck 6 o'clock, our 4 intrepid contestants had already started cooking.
So basically what they have to do is they have to create a breakfasty brunch kind of a dish for me. The amazing thing is that it's going to be picked up at 7 o'clock and it's going to be delivered to me, and I'm going to be judging it. And
why don't we get to know them a little better? We've got Nigel Zinn, we've got Sarah Williams, we've got Marlene Reddy, and we've got Siak Kabanisa, the 4 contestants in our very first inaugural episode.
The inaugural.
Of hashtag Cooking for a Cause.
When we started with lockdown, the focus has always been on our team and our staff, and most of my team live down in the inner city, and my focus really has been to be able to support not only my team but that whole inner city community.
So at 6 o'clock they started cooking and we started talking nonsense. Bellissima.
Bellissima.
Bellissima. Look at how we're showing off here now. Is that a threat?
How is that for a combination? Indian and Portuguese. I mean, my two favorites. Look at this specimen. I should have been a chef, Oaks. Huh?
But you don't cook, you don't put heat on ever. Then what are you doing?
This is the thing. No, look, I mean, I have done this before.
Don't lie. Telling you what we're doing. Hoppa.
Sorry, chaps. It's all good. Everything's under control.
She's my kind of girl. Part of the judging process is not just the food and the plating and the great knife skills and techniques that you have in whatever you're going to be doing with the avocado and the poached eggs and the bacon and the kippers and whatever else you're going to use. It's also about what charisma and what gees you are bringing to the kitchen.
I'm trying to work where all the crockery is. Yeah, there was mention of crocks. Yes.
Look at the technique in the pan.
You could just smell it.
This is one of my croissants.
On the money, my friend. Spice up your life. Hey, there's a song like that, sorry. And then the nice caramelized, not burnt.
You're on your own. I'm out of here. Bye.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks very much.
Okay, so those were the highlights in this side of hashtag Cooking for a Cause for our first episode. Gosh, it's just a reminder of how busy and crazy it actually was. We really just made it up as we went along. But what was even more interesting, I mean, we had fun here, but our contestants were fantastic. I mean, there were all kinds of showing off and techniques and fancy aiolis that were made. But if you miss that, you can have a look at what they were able to dish up.
Oaks, I'm so ready for this. I'm not going to lie. But now I'm ready to eat. Oh, it smells so good. Proper. Sarah, Marlene, Nigel, and Sia in Rosebank in a B&B. Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, there you have it. All I know is, thank goodness you cycle almost every day, because those cloches came off and it's like, how are you going to eat all of that? But we do know you can put it away, but you're also on your bike quite a bit, aren't you?
I am.
So you had a taste of all of those beautiful pieces that were put in front of you. We know the backstory between it. There were some disasters in between. But everybody was able to put that box into a Mr. Fasty box, and it was brought over here quite late while you were preparing to do your cocktail hour and your 30 seconds. And it was like a raging Friday night in the David Higgs household. Who won in the end?
Sarah Williams.
Ah!
Sarah Williams was the winner, as you just saw. Yeah, so Sarah just put it together. When I saw the place at first, I thought, just okay, there's just too much going on here.
Yeah, because she had lots of little bits and pieces.
Lots of little bits and pieces. But in the end, everything was executed beautifully. You know, the flavors were there, everything worked, and a lot of effort was put in. So yeah, Sarah was the winner.
And what's great about that is, if you were impressed by that feast that was put in front of David, and you want to check out, like for instance, Sarah made something called an avocado aioli, and that stuck with me, the fact that I remember it. And you're like, how did they do that? You can get access to those recipes. If you go to Quicket, you are able to purchase all of the recipes from last week as well as tonight. It should be available after tonight's show, or at least some of it will be. And if you go on there, for just $50, you can purchase all of the recipes of all the contestants, including David's, and all of that money going to the cause for the Inner City Can Collective, a cause that I learned a lot about through the work that David's been doing during a lockdown. And they really do amazing work there, don't they?
No, it's as I keep saying, you know, like most of my team live in the inner city, and when I got to Joburg, one of my favorite things to do on Sundays was to drive down. I almost said Herengracht. It's Commissioner, and it was the old president. The name has changed now, and there's all these old hotels, the most incredible architecture. But what stands out is the people. You know, everybody's just doing their trade, everybody's doing their thing, and it's just deteriorated over the years, and I wanted to stay special, you know, because it's a place with incredible energy.
And of course, you've gotten to know quite a few people who have made the inner city their home, because many of them also are working in the hospitality industry and in the restaurant industry as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So please, guys, if you can help out, we'd really appreciate it. And again, we're not asking for you know, we're giving you the show, we're going to give you the recipes, and all we want, we know that it's going to be tricky to donate now. Everybody's got donor fatigue and everything else.
And there's also a prize if you are wanting to donate and get involved. But we also have a prize from one of our partners tonight as well.
Do we?
There's some cool prizes that you can find. If you just keep an eye on the screen for all of those little things, you can keep track of what's happening, all because of hashtag Cooking for a Cause. Now, back to tonight's show.
I need to start cooking because I'm getting NG.
But before you do that, let's give people a quick idea of what we've done. So tonight, if you're watching for the first time, David every week puts together a box of ingredients that he has to cook from. He sends it to the contestants. They have an hour to come up with something. They don't have to use all of the ingredients, but the core ingredients are there. He's provided it, and they can use whatever else is in the kitchen. So tell us tonight what's in the box.
Okay, so basically, guys, I don't know if we can see it on this little camera here. Anyway, you can't really see it. So we've got salmon, we've got leeks, we've got broccoli, we've got some beautiful caviar here, we've got capers, green olives, a real assortment of things, and then obviously fatties and monies. the bellissimo range, which is 100% Durham
wheat.
The linguine, which is one of my favorites. So, but the main ingredient being salmon, but there's also, you can do lots of little vegetarian twists on this and so forth.
So this is a bit of a departure from last week. It was almost like brunchy ingredients that we worked with this week.
More lunchy,
nice, more
lighty.
lunchy, or perhaps a light supper. We're heading into nice,
Exactly.
warmer weather as well. Perfect for it. So we're going to leave David alone.
Thank
he
you.
needs to actually get cooking for a change, and we'll touch base with him in a little while. But it does give us an opportunity now to check in with all our very interesting contestants. Now, not only are these people serious foodies, they love their food, many of them self-taught cooks, many of them bloggers, they love traveling through their food, and they've all put up their hand. They want to be part of a great cause, which is hashtag Cooking for a Cause, but they also think that they can show David Higgs a thing or two. And I love people with that kind of chutzpah. So let's find out more about them. The first contestant we're going to find out about, her name is Rakni Shah, and she's 42 years old. All of our contestants live in Johannesburg. There are her details. Obviously, everybody's got an Instagram account, because who is a foodie without an Instagram account? And she has she and her husband and her daughter live here in Johannesburg, and food is a big part of their day-to-day lives. So we're going to cross live to her kitchen right now, where she is busy with the exact same ingredients that that David just mentioned now. And I'm quite interested to see what she's going to come up with. So let's see what Rakni is busy with right now. There she is, live in the kitchen of just another ordinary citizen of Johannesburg. Hi there. Hello, everybody.
It's spinning.
Lots of smiles.
Is everybody talking?
Yeah, lots of smiles, lots of waving. What have you decided to do with the ingredients tonight?
Thank you so much. So nice to be part of this.
Fantastic. Now tell us what you decided to make. Oh, for some reason it doesn't look like she can hear me. Let's try that again. Rakni, can you tell us what you plan to do with the ingredients you received?
You see what I'm saying? Two different things.
Unfortunately, it seems she can't hear us right now. We're going to have to go back to a very fascinating family there. She grew up in Kenya. A lot of that has influenced her tastes and what she loves to cook with. And she says she loves living in Johannesburg because all of those ingredients are just there. In any place you walk into, you can get all of the spices you need from any part of the world. And she and her family love to cook with that. Let's touch base now with Sam Rowland, who's our second contestant tonight. He's an economist by trade, but like all of the other contestants, he loves food. There he is, Sam Rowland, with a lovely background of the sea. He's a professional economist, and I'm told that tonight he's moved back into his parents' house so that he can use their kitchen. Let's cross now to Sam Rowland's kitchen, or his parents' kitchen, as it were, and try and find out exactly what he's decided to cook with tonight. There he is. Sam, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Fantastic. Welcome to hashtag Cooking for a Cause. What have you decided to do with your box of goodies tonight?
So just by the way, I have a better kitchen at home. It's just the lighting here is better.
Oh,
so,
okay. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. But I have a bucket of wine ready to go.
Excellent, Sam. Cheers.
Dave, cheers. How are you feeling after that 30 seconds the other night? You recovered a bit.
My friend, I don't know. Everybody seemed to pick up that I'd had a couple, but I was there for the cause, guys. I was there for the
I don't know
cause.
if it was the
A
I don't know if it
couple
was the
is
live
two, guys.
streaming, keeping live while you're on the bathroom break, but it was a good watch.
Sorry.
Listen,
Right, guys,
a
so
couple
what
is two. By the time I went to bed, he was still busy with 30 seconds. I'm pretty sure it was more than a couple by that stage, Sam.
That
You're being
sounds
kind.
about right.
Right.
Right,
So what have you got going there?
Tonight we're going to do salmon three ways. So we've got sort of sushi, salmon sushi amuse-bouche with the cucumber, a bit of the sour cream, the fish eggs. We're going to roll up. Then we're going to do a salmon salad. So we're going to sear the salmon, and then we're going to do a sort of agrodolce, so a sweet and sour type salad. So we've got the capers. We've got the raw leeks, we've got the olives. I've taken some sultanas I found here and I've soaked them in sherry. So we're going to get a bit of that sweet hit And then I found some mustard leaves in my garden, so we're going to use that as a sort of
Okay, Sam,
salad.
Sam, enough already. You're showing off now. You're showing off. Back off, buddy.
Listen,
Okay,
you're in your parents' kitchen. How old
I'm
are
not
those?
here for your restaurant.
Sam, you're in your parents' kitchen. How old are those sultanas?
Oh, jeez. I think they were raisins when they got them.
So now listen, I've got a couple of questions for you. Now, by the sounds of it and all the fancy lingo that you used, excuse-moi, you know what you're doing in the kitchen. You obviously love food, all different types of food as well. But you're an economist and you're a brewer. How do those two worlds collide?
Well, I mean, in our current climate, you got to find something to keep you positive. So that was where the brewing came about.
And I take it you're not just talking about pineapple brews.
Yeah, no. Look, when lockdown came about, I was more than prepared to
do anything that's possible,
so to speak.
And I suppose also economists have become almost like our storytellers right now, because you know that's also been top of mind during this unprecedented time that we're living in. So the kitchen for you, is it like an escape? I take it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when I was a student studying in Stellenbosch, I got to experience the food scene. I was a waiter at a deli in Stellenbosch.
Whereabouts, Sam?
Takara
really?
Deli.
Very nice.
Very nice, beautiful estate.
Sort of. Oh, jeez, yeah. You know, something to aspire to. And then, I also got to spend 1 or 2 shifts in the kitchen, just figuring out how not to cut myself with the mandolin slicer.
Yeah. No, that thing is worse than my slippers, my friend. That thing's got more teeth than my slippers has got.
Yeah, I'm surprised I still have all 10 fingers.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam, now that we've gotten to know a little bit more about you, we're going to leave you be in your parents' kitchen, only because they've got better lighting. I believe you. You get a cooking salmon 3 ways. Our little show-off in tonight's competition is Sam Rowland. We'll check in with him a little bit later and see how his salmon 3 ways is going. There was an amuse-bouche in there. There was something else, like the fanciest terms.
No, I've had to go back to the fridge now. I'm rethinking things.
Like, I need to Google some of that stuff that he just mentioned now as well. So we've heard from Rakisha. Well, hopefully we can hear a bit more from her a little bit later, because we were having problems with our audio there. We've heard from Sam Rowland. Let's now find out about Charmaine Boy, who's also a self-taught cook and mum here in Johannesburg. There she is, gorgeous on her Instagram profile at Charmaine Boy. Loves cooking, loves food as well. Was very busy on Instagram today, letting us all know that she's getting ready for tonight's show. So let's zip into Charmaine Boy's kitchen live here in Johannesburg. Hashtag Cooking for a Course, the only cooking show right now where you can just zip into another Joe Burger's kitchen like we are right now. Hello, Charmaine. What are you busy with?
Hello.
Charmaine Boy.
Yes.
Yes, you look very organized.
I'm trying to. Let me come closer.
Oh, she's coming closer. As long as you don't have a pan to keep
I
an eye
can't
on.
hear you guys nicely there.
Okay,
I'm
Charmaine,
trying to be organized.
you look very organized, almost as organized as David, so you're in good company. Tell us what you've decided to do with your box of ingredients that David sent over.
Okay, so I've decided I'm gonna literally fry the salmon. I'm trying the crispy skin of salmon as well on the oven there.
Lovely.
And then I'm gonna do a broccoli puree and as well a brunch broccoli with some Parmesan cheese.
Lovely.
And tzatziki sauce, and as well as lemon butter sauce. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm making.
Beautiful combination of flavors, David.
Charmaine, you're pushing out the boat here.
Fantastic, Charmaine.
Hopefully everything comes out nice.
I have complete and utter faith in you. Now, Charmaine, we can hear in the background, your little ones are busy and involved there as well. You're a mum of a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. Is this a kind of dish that you think they would enjoy? Because it sounds delicious.
Yes, definitely. My kids, they love seafood. They're a fan of seafood. So this is,
great.
one of those easy to make go-to dishes.
You listen to that, easy to make,
Yeah.
David.
No.
Easy to make.
I heard that.
Now,
Except for
Charmaine,
the crispy skin, it's my first time making it.
you call yourself a self-taught cook. Where did the passion for food come from?
I think growing up, actually, I was very lazy when it comes to the kitchen. I think it came after I got married. I was sort of motivated to cook for the fam. And then I started trying out different recipes and different things. And yeah, then that's when I actually realized, actually, I love being in the kitchen. I love experimenting. I love trying out new things.
Yeah.
I love cooking. I love baking. Yeah, I'm always trying out things.
That's fantastic.
Sometimes I don't always go out the way I planned,
but that's part of the fun. Experimenting is part of the fun, isn't it?
If you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. That's the big thing. If you don't make mistakes, you don't learn.
Yeah.
And you know, when things burn in the oven and when things, that's different. But you got to experiment. Otherwise you just keep doing the same thing, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Charmaine, we're not going to keep you too long. When you're not cooking and experimenting in the kitchen, what are you and your family getting up to?
I'm always home. Besides that, I'm studying teaching.
Lovely.
So I'm in school. My kids are also at school as well. The 6-year-old is in grade 1. So we are just always busy.
Great. So your kitchen is the place that you go to when you have to unwind. And I'm sure seeing your family enjoying your food is one of your great joys.
Yes.
Great. All right, we're not going to keep you long because it sounds you've got some work to do. Charmaine Boy, there's our third contestant, self-taught cook, mum of a 6 and a 3-year-old. You could hear them in the background, very busy. And she's got some lovely classic flavors going there, doesn't she, David?
That is the dish is very classic, but you still have to cook it properly, you know. So it's not, you know, it's not always about just making.
Just throwing the flavors together, obviously. 100%. And the crispy skin is going to be, that's always the key. I mean, who doesn't like always a crispy skin? In fact, when I do go out to a restaurant, the first thing myself and my partner do ask, like, is the skin still on the fish or is the skin still on the chicken? Because I mean, you know, that's the flavor. That's the flavor right there. Now, speaking of flavor, one of our contestants tonight that we're expecting all the flavor from is one Janet Sitole, or as she calls herself, Miss J.
Miss J.
Miss J, as we've recently found out, full of energy, full of spunk. I mean, just look at that picture right there. She says she's 45 years young. I like that about her. She's an aspiring travel blogger. She's a chef in training, she calls herself. And those are her Instagram handles, Travel with Miss J 101 or something like that. And it's lovely to see South Africans putting themselves out there like that. And now we're going to zip live into Miss J's kitchen here in Johannesburg, and we were expecting a party of some kind.
No, the music, Miss J.
And look at her with the earpiece. Look at her with the earpiece.
Love it. We can't hear the music.
I don't think it matters. Hi, Miss J. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can, my love. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Are you cooking in that
kitchen? Yes, I'm good. You see, I'm channeling Dave. Can you see my hat?
I can see. It's beautiful.
Can you see my flower here?
Oh, she got a flower.
Oh, Miss J.
You're such an influencer, David.
Are those sunflowers?
You are not. Listen, I'm not done. Can you see my slippers?
This is what it's about. This is what Friday nights are about.
Cheers.
Cheers, Miss J. Now listen, before we continue to party with you, tell us very quickly what you're cooking from the box of goodies you received.
So I'm not doing anything complicated. I'm not a show off like Sam and Charmaine. I'm very much simple. I'm going Asian. One of the countries I actually enjoy traveling to was Thailand. So I thought I'll just whip up something like more Asian, more Thai, sweet and sour, salmon, and I'm gonna just whip up my pasta, and then
beautiful.
It's gonna be classic flavors. I think when you eat it, Dave, you're gonna be like, wow.
The essence of Miss J.
I can already taste it. I can already taste it.
Yes, everything is just gonna be the flavors. It's the contrast of the sweets and the sour, a little bit of chili coming through, and very nice. Cucumber, I'm still thinking what I'm gonna do with this.
But now remember, you don't have to use all of the ingredients.
Yes.
If you're happy with what you put on the plate and your flavors, then trust your gut and go with that. So don't feel like you
Absolutely,
need to include it
absolutely.
just for the sake of it. Now, I know you said you
Yeah.
like classic flavors, you like to keep things simple, but I had a bit of a peep at one of your Instagram accounts, Miss J, and there's some
Uh-huh.
beautiful dishes on there. I mean, you say that you're a chef in training. There was a buttercup cup with beef shin that was plated beautifully. I saw that on your Instagram account. So don't come and play shy and say I just do simple things here. Tell us
Yeah.
about
No,
this chef in training
you know what I
thing.
do? You know what I do? I take ordinary dishes and just turn them and try and make them classic. So I don't go like, ooh. I just take ordinary dishes, turn them around, and yeah, try and make them classic. Like take mukhodu, the tribe, and then just make it zazaza, and
And
then
you don't
it
have to
looks
do a
good.
lot with that to make it classic and delicious, do you? And then the joy of that is seeing your family enjoy it. Isn't that the biggest joy of all?
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
so tell us about this. You're 45 years young. You're a travel blogger. You are a chef in training. Where does this passion for food and travel come from?
So my passion for food, it dates way, way, way back to my grandmother's kitchen when I was growing up. I spent a lot of time with her down in Pinetown, and she used to be like very what you call animated person. And when she cooks, when we were cooking in those coal stoves, and yeah, it would be dramatic. There'll be sound. She'll be singing. Obviously, she wasn't singing my songs like Zakia, Zakia, Zakia. Yeah. So she'll be singing such songs, traditional stuff, gospel in between. And so, yeah, I started enjoying cooking from there. Interesting enough, then I went to boarding school. Like Dave,
Yeah.
I went to boarding school and I hated
She knows
cooking
you.
because they were giving us crap food.
Yeah.
So I didn't like food. Then afterwards, when I was in varsity, I started experimenting more about food. And then I moved to Cape Town. Damn.
And
Then-
then,
Shit happened. And I went back to, oh, excuse me.
Shit happened.
that's okay.
Janet.
It's okay. You're
Then
because
I
everybody
started
knows what you mean.
Cheers, Janet.
Okay, Janet, we'll catch up with Janet a little later. I feel like we could speak for hours with Janet. I want to hear about when that stuff happened in
No,
Cape
let me just
Town.
tell you.
What a character. That she is, when she described her mother in Cape Town, they'd say, "Say as our masterkind."
Yeah.
Because she said her grandmother cooked like that. She's cooking in the exact same way.
Exactly.
So now David's been cooking all the while, even
Yeah.
though he's been keeping half an ear on what our contestants are doing. Some very interesting and different flavors we're going to get from them.
Definitely, lots of really interesting flavors. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly talk you. If
Yes.
I can get onto this camera, I'm going to quickly talk you about what I've been doing. But I think the big thing with what everybody's doing is not to overcomplicate things. And Sam's got his work cut out for him. And cook what you know as well, Anyway, but sounds very interesting. There's some classic stuff. There's some beautiful fusion going on. And then there's also some very sort of inventive cooking going on with different courses and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to be doing two different courses. And the first thing that I've done is made a little bit of a salsa with the green olives, with the capers and some olive oil and so forth. That and salmon is always an absolute hit. And I'm going to finish that off with some beautiful fish eggs. What I'm going to add to that, all right, is cucumber. You can see what I've done here. I haven't done this since hotel school, but these are turned cucumbers, Oaks. These are turned. Look at them, they're little boat-shaped cucumbers, and we're actually going to fry them in a pan with lots of butter. And olive oil, and we're going to add the salsa to that just when it's finished. So it's this warm, almost salsa verde with. What are you doing?
I'm on Instagram Live.
Oh, yes.
I mean, all the cool kids are doing it. You do it all the time, so I might as well try. Go ahead, keep talking.
So what I've done is I've cut my salmon really thin. I'm just going to dress it with a little bit of lemon juice and olive oil, and I'm going to put it raw onto the plate. Then I'm going to dress it with this lovely salsa and the cucumber that I'm going to quickly fry off in the pan. The other dish, obviously, is our pasta dish, bellissimo, the linguine from Fatty Zimoni's, the 100% Durham wheat. This is a new range of theirs, so we're going to use that. And I'm going to make a little salmon. I'm going to fry my salmon now. I'm going to flake the salmon, and then what I'm going to do with that is green peppercorns, okay, sour cream, and we'll probably just finish that off also with a couple of that's quite also very classic, I suppose. What I have done as well is I've got these lovely little leaves of broccoli that I've just soaked in water. Yeah, these are the little broccoli leaves. Yeah, yeah. But look how pretty those are.
Away.
Yeah, don't throw them away.
Really? Hey, you learn something new every day.
But you need to dress. you might need to dress them.
And those have been soaking there for a long time.
And they have. And what's really nice with these is when you deep fry them or you fry them in a pan, that's so lekker as well. Anyway,
goodness
so
me.
that's.
And some, now you see, guys.
Yeah.
Even David Higgs.
And then just look here. What I've done is done a little pickle inspired by Sarah's winning dish. I've done a little pickle of leeks and cucumber and so forth that we're also then gonna use on the dish with the green peppercorns. Okay, so it's quite interesting, that little flavour that's.
And within 5 seconds, somebody just commented on my Instagram live, I've just watched him for 5 seconds and now I'm hungry.
Yeah, you see now.
We're not helping people, eh?
We're not helping people.
If they were just going to have a toasted cheese sandwich, it's just not going to work. And here's the knife. I was just going to ask you about the knife skills.
Yeah.
Because the scoring is a problem for me. Because often I'm either not going deep enough.
Yeah.
Or it's just not having an impact.
So you gotta go quite. If you just look there, you don't just break the skin. You actually cut into it, because then it makes it look really, really attractive. You'll see when I cook it now. But you can just score the skin if you want to, just very quickly. But I like exaggerating it a little bit. But
the ones that you've prepared here, you're gonna do that differently.
That's what I'm gonna do differently. Yeah. So I'm gonna get this in my pan now.
You had different plans when we started, and you've now just had some other ideas as we've been standing.
Well,
here.
I was being shown. I was being showed off here. So
you had to lift your game here in the last few minutes, didn't you?
I had to lift my game. So we're back in the game. Listen, what is Rachni doing?
Yes, so that's who we need to catch up with. David has given us an idea of what he's going to be doing. He's flown with the punches a little bit, rolled with the punches, and come up with a few other things to add to his list. Raki, we need to go back to. We heard from her right at the beginning, Raki Shah, who's here in Johannesburg. Yes. Hopefully she can hear us now. Hello.
Loud and clear.
There we go. And tell us what your little sous chef is holding up there.
Yeah, what does she says?
Yes, go, Mum. You can do this.
Oh, well, with support like that, I mean, Mum, you really need to bring it tonight, don't you? Now, tell us what you've decided to do with your box of ingredients tonight.
Okay, well, it's so funny because as Dave was describing his dish, I was like, oh my God, I've pretty much done a similar thing. So
that's okay.
I too have made a salsa with cucumber, the capers, the olives, and the fish eggs with a bit of parsley, and so yeah, a fresh salsa, not a hot one.
Okay.
And then chocolate, some broccoli, and some leeks, and then dress it with burnt sage butter.
Ooh, burnt sage butter.
Lovely.
That's a little show-off touch, is it?
He's going to put in some crispy garlic and chili in there as well.
Okay, I was waiting for that because Raki, we did some snooping on you before tonight's show, and you've had a very interesting life that's ended up with you and your little family being in Johannesburg. You grew up in Kenya. Now, I mean, just growing up there alone in an Indian family, I mean, the flavors that you grew up with must be something that still influences your cooking today.
Well, absolutely. I think Dave kind of threw a curveball there because my cooking is normally really bold flavors of Indian flavors, Asian flavors, etc.
Yeah.
And funny enough, similar to, I think it was Charmaine, I actually didn't cook at all until I left for university. Well, not even at university. I remember my mum saying, please spend a day with me in the kitchen because
otherwise you're going to starve.
But yeah, anyway, same thing, got married, 15 years ago. And then I felt like, okay, I need to step up my game here and start cooking something other than baked beans. Which
that would be nice.
So I started, and then I got not to make it too serious, but I had stage 4 endometriosis, which means I had to stop all processed food, etc.
So there's the twist.
Yeah.
Because I had to appreciate cooking with natural ingredients. So kind of working on how to make those bold flavors with your natural ingredients.
Fantastic. And you've said that as part of that journey, you're so happy to be in Johannesburg, where all of those different kinds of ingredients from different kinds of cultures is readily available and is fresh, and more so organic and naturally grown as well. So that's a big blessing as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. Like I said, when you can go into your local supermarket, buy tamarind, buy lemongrass, buy curry leaves, you know, we're good to go. That's quite a...
Exactly.
Most supermarkets wouldn't have that combination.
And it's something we just take for granted in Johannesburg,
Yeah, exactly.
or in South Africa just generally as well, that all those ingredients are available. Now, Rakhi, we're going to leave you to get going. You've got about a half an hour, less than a half an hour to go. So you better get
Guys,
cracking.
25 minutes left. I'm also under pressure. I've been talking too much.
But panic in the best possible way.
Let's go,
That's
go.
Rakhi. She's also got a blog called Chakula, which means food in Swahili. So that wonderful journey that she's taken with her health, but not letting that stop her from creating lovely, bold
Yeah, I love it.
flavors that
Love
she's
it.
grown up with as well. And
Absolutely
again,
love it.
just mentioning how blessed we are to have all of these ingredients at our fingertips, as it were, if you're privileged enough to be able to do that. Now, speaking of ingredients, it also gives us an opportunity to look at some of the ingredients we've been able to use during hashtag cooking for a cause. One of them you'll see on your screen, or a few of them you'll see on the screen right now. I want to know, have you started cooking? What have we started cooking with so far? We've got our food partners, you'll see there. We've got Bull and Bush, we've got La Marina Foods, Food Lovers Eatery, Urban Food. So many of our different ingredients have come from them. Specifically Food Lovers Eatery, we're putting some lovely fresh ingredients out there. Let's take a look at what you can get at Food Lovers Eatery.
I like it. Excellent.
There we go. Food Lovers Eatery, one of our wonderful partners here tonight for hashtag Cooking for a Cause. We're here for a good cause, that being the Inner City Can Collective. We've heard all about it. And if you want to find out more, they're on social media. Keep an eye on David Higgs' social media as well. He continues to do work with them.
Absolutely.
David, we were saying our contestants don't have much time.
I
Nor
know.
do you. Where are we at right now? Come.
Listen, so my fish is cooked. Look at how beautifully that's
Oh,
come
it's
out.
so pretty.
Eh?
Oh.
And I've just seared it on both sides and just let it sit, so it sits actually quite nicely. And what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to do the little bit of linguine, and there I've got a lovely peppercorn, a green peppercorn sauce with a cucumber, hot cucumber. Hey?
Neeman.
Yeah.
You see, last week you did the flame on the avocado.
Yeah.
No sit warme cucumber. What is going
But
on?
cucumber is absolutely, you must just not overcook it. That's the big trick. But this is
And you kept the skin on, because some people say, oh, you shouldn't have it with the skin because it causes gas.
I don't need any encouragement in that department. That I can tell you. And anybody that knows you can tell you.
So
that.
you've done that with the cream. And does it make it, here's my question.
Yeah.
Does it make a difference? I mean, sour cream and just plain cream does taste different.
Yeah.
Would you say you need to be sure of which one you want to use in a dish, depending on what flavor profile you want?
The only thing is with sour cream, it's generally very, very thick. And it's got a very specific flavor. You know, some people can be put off by the flavor.
Yeah.
You know? But you know, using normal cream is also is okay. I prefer sour cream because it's got that edge in already, and you don't need to add too much to it.
And it just it adds a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit of, and
Exactly,
it doesn't. You
especially
don't
with
have
fish.
to, and you don't have to just use it on Mexican
No,
food.
no, no.
Because I feel like sometimes that's the only reason I have it in the fridge. What are we gonna make? Let's do nachos. I've got sour cream before it goes off, and then after
love
that
it.
you just make up dishes after that.
I love it.
But now listen, we're definitely cooking with gas. We've got 20 minutes left, David,
Yeah.
just as a reminder. We
Yeah.
are cooking with gas. Speaking of cooking,
Yeah.
let's find out about one of our other partners, Aga Stoves, one of our fabulous
Yes.
partners here on hashtag Cooking for a Cause. So let's find out a little bit more about them and the wonderful work that they're doing as well.
everything's coming my way. Who's been teaching all the birds how to sing a roundelay? They must have known just how I like it, 'cause everything's coming my way. Yesterday everything looked anyhow. Then I met someone and oh, look at it now. Who's been polishing the sun, rubbing out the clouds of grey? They must have known just how I like it.
But it's also with an A. Right, there we have it. One of our very important partners in making hashtag Cooking for a Cause for the Inner City Can Collective possible. Arga Stoves, we're learning all about them as we cook along. And one of the main ingredients tonight is pasta.
Yes, it is indeed. It's in my pot as we speak.
Let's take a look. I just want to look in your pots.
There's always what I love about pasta is always this. But how long, Dave? How long does it have to cook for? You know,
you do know that when I open your Insta stories every morning or whenever, I'm expecting you like, Dave, what are you doing, Dave? I start talking like that now.
So every phone call now starts with Dave. Hey, Dave.
Yes. Where did that voice come from? Is that somebody you knew growing up? Or
no.
Is that Cape Town? It sounds like a Cape Town O.
Yeah,
or is it a Bryanston O?
It might be a thing, but I hate being called Dave. And I started calling myself Dave, which is kind of weird. Yeah. Anyway, forget about that.
Anyway.
So this...
Dave, what is the pasta you're cooking tonight?
So we're cooking linguine. I've just got it in the pot there. But, you know, when you're cooking polenta and pap and everybody always says, but how long does it cook for? Guys, what you have to understand with these things is read the label. When in doubt, read the label. Every pasta that you cook, okay, has got a different cooking time. So there's no strict rules here. Okay.
And here's my question. I prefer, spaghetti is, when we were growing up, spaghettis are the only pasta that you must now know.
Yeah.
Before we started getting fancy and had our own kitchens and we had all these other products available.
Exactly.
As we grew up. Spaghetti is spaghetti.
Yep.
And then this thing comes along and we find out linguine. Now I prefer linguine to spaghetti. What is the difference? What makes you choose between your different pastas?
The one is obviously linguine is flat.
Yes, I know that, but I mean in terms of the dish, because I know sometimes they say, okay, use the shell when you've got a liquor sauce that you want must be scooped up in the shell and so
exactly.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, when you make gnocchis and stuff, they always put the little dip in the gnocchi, or the macaroni, or the penne has got the the hole in it, so it captures the sauce.
Some of them have little ridges as well, so then the sauce sticks to that as well.
And that's why it's very important not to put olive oil onto your pasta when you're cooking it, because when it comes out,
wait,
you've got to put...
No, hold the phone. We all learned from, you watch all the TV shows or you watch your mother and whatever, you put the hot water in, it's boiling. You put all the salt in there, and then you gooi olive oil, and then you put the pasta in. Now you're telling me that that's not right.
No,
I've been living a lie.
No, see... So the reason why these pastas and the things that got holes in and so forth is that it's to capture the sauce. Now, when you put olive oil on, the sauce doesn't stick to it. So when you're cooking your pasta, like a spaghetti or whatever, and you've got a lekker tomato sauce or a bolognese or whatever, you want that sauce to stick to it. And if there's oil on it, hy sit nie vas in die donder.
Don't you hate it when that happens? Yes. Oil just makes everything too slippery, man.
No,
nothing's going to stick to it.
What's happening?
You're saying we mustn't... Wait.
What's happening with the contestants?
Before, I just like for the record, you're not putting oil in the water, you're not putting oil over the thing, nothing.
No.
Okay, I think my job is done here. I'm going to leave. We've educated the nation. Anyway.
I'm happy with it.
So, let's find out more, because that brings us to one of our important partners, Fatties and Momies, Bellissima, their premium pasta. Tonight we're using the linguine, which is 100% Durham wheat. Let's have a look.
Fatties and Momies, Bellissima. Fatties and Momies, ottimo cibo. Tagliatelle, farfalle, linguini.
When life inspires you to create, Bellissimo will give you the freedom to. Introducing the new premium quality pasta range from Fatties and Momies.
Bellissima.
Bravo to you.
There we go, Fatties and Momies Bellissima premium pasta, 100% Durham wheat. That's what we're cooking with tonight. That's what David's cooking with tonight. He's going to hustle and bustle here because he, along with our contestants, have 15 minutes here on the second episode of hashtag Cooking for a Cause, and it allows us a quick opportunity to touch base with our contestants. The first one, let's go and check out how Sam Rowland is doing. An economist by trade, a brewer of interesting things. He spent some time in one of those lovely delis in Stellenbosch that we're all dying to go and visit visit again once lockdown allows us to and once things are safer out there. Sam is cooking in his parents' kitchen because the lighting is good. That's the only reason he's there. Sam, how's it going?
How's it, guys? So, a few tense developments. My mom crapped on me because I wasn't keeping the kitchen clean while I worked.
Oh, crack the whip, mommy.
Bit of a tense standoff as well. I've also brought my wife in here to show that I'm not just
Hello.
An economist living at home.
And brewing things.
Exactly.
As they do.
So how's your dish
we're
coming
almost done,
along?
Hey, we've got.
Is it still salmon 3 ways or is it now 5 ways? Wat gaat aan?
No, it's still through. So I didn't get to mention it last time. We've got a sort of lemon piccata type salmon. So
Nog fancy.
we've just fried the leeks, the garlic, a bit of the capers, some white wine, the salmon, and the sour cream, and we've just made a sort of very simple pasta. We're going to take the broccoli and we've grilled the broccoli and we're going to put it on top when we serve. And then I think we're good to go. I mean, not long left. But I've come up with a name in the meantime.
Indeed.
Please.
But you seem very
We're gonna call
calm.
this-
You're not panicking with the time running out, Sam, by the looks of it.
I mean, I think most of it's pretty ready. But we're calling this dish a 3-way with David Higgs and a piece of salmon.
Well, that's going to get tongues wagging.
Yeah.
Hopefully it gets taste buds wagging.
Can we just keep
as
this
well.
tidy, please?
Stadig oor die klippe, soos hulle sê.
You
Sam,
called it, David.
we're going to leave you there. Sam Rowland, he looks like he is well on his way to being ready for Mr. Fasty to pick up his dish and put a cloche on it and bring it over for David to check out. Let's check in now with our second contestant, Charmaine Boy, who had a really busy household with a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old who were giving some lovely background noise for us, and she was working on some lovely classic dishes. So let's find out how Charmaine is doing. A self-taught cook who's very passionate about food. She said she only really started cooking after she left her mother's house, but now she loves cooking and she loves cooking for her family. Charmaine, how's it going there? You've got less than 15 minutes left.
I'm almost done. I'm literally just brunching the broccoli and then I'm done. I'm ready to plate. Everything
Wonderful.
else is done.
And you're not panicking, nothing, no disasters, no 3-year-old running off with
Not
the salmon.
really. I'm just thinking, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna plate.
Okay, wonderful.
So that's
And
where
you
I
must
need
think
my
of a
kiddos
name.
to
You
help
must
me
think,
with the plating.
and you must think of a name as well. Remember, you must think of a name for your dish as well, so that
Sorry?
David. You must think of a name for your dish as well. That sounds
name
like
for
a
the
proper
dish.
household.
No, there's chaos
Like,
there.
keep quiet. I want to hear what David Higgs is saying. A name for your dish would be great, and hopefully
It's gonna be seafood heavenly.
seafood. Did you say seafood heavenly?
There we go.
Wonderful. Okay, Charmaine, you go off and finish blanching your broccoli. And she's got some classic, I think you mentioned Parmesan.
She did, yeah.
The last time we chatted to her as well. And that's the sounds of a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old in the background. A very busy household and a mommy who loves to cook for her family and loves experimenting. That was a lovely conversation we had with her earlier.
Yes.
Saying, some things don't always work out, but that hasn't stopped her and she keeps cooking. And that's what we all should do. And it's something I've learned from watching David during lockdown as well. In as much as he's one of South Africa's premier chefs. Don't tell him I said so. Things have gone wrong and as vloekwoorde and we need to start that from the top. And my mum always told me that when she first got married and also had to start cooking, there were some things that went into the bin before my father would come home as well. And when she used to tell me that, I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not that bad. I can start somewhere as well. And I attempted some of her recipes, quite a few of them during lockdown. And you almost feel like the sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do in life, but when you make something that your mum used to make really well, it's like, oh, maybe I'm getting somewhere in life. I'm not a complete failure. Well, who wasn't a failure were in terms of energy and spunk was one Janet Sitole, Miss J, as we got to know her. She's one of our contestants tonight. She was dancing, she had a glass of wine going, she was telling us about her background, how her grandmother influenced the way she behaves in the kitchen and cooks. Let's check in
still dancing.
with Janet. She's still...
Has she got headphones on?
Yeah, like Janet Jackson, Moose. Listen, Janet, I've just realized you remind me of Janet. You remember Janet Jackson in her concerts always used to have those earpieces so that she could dance and sing at the same time. That's what you're doing.
But of course, that's what I'm doing. So I've got a few minutes, but I can pull a nice one for you. Can't stop me now.
There we go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Sam, are you there?
Janet,
Sam, are you there?
I don't want to interrupt.
Are you there?
Why is she saying Sam? Who's Sam?
Is your food finished?
those are Janet Jackson moves with a wooden
Charmaine,
spoon.
are you there? Charmaine, are you
She's
there?
taking over the show.
No, she is.
You
she
didn't
is.
realize she's taking over the show. Okay, now, Miss
Oh,
J,
gee.
we know you can sing and dance. How's your dish coming along?
A little bit of mishaps, shit happens, but Dave is gonna.
That's the name of your
Dave
dish.
is gonna eat. Dave is gonna eat. That's what's important. We're gonna play it now. Dave, does your plate is fine in the oven? I just warming it. I hope it's not gonna crack now in my
100%. 100%. All good.
Super. So my dish is Miss J Lockdown D.
Lockdown D.
Lockdown D. Is D for Dave?
Yeah, let's go with that.
D for Dave,
Yes.
of course.
Let's
like
say
it.
the D is for Dave and not what
Yes,
it
it
normally
is.
means. Okay, Miss J. So Miss J is not.
Miss J is an inspiration. Let me
Miss
just tell you.
J is not panicking. She's taking it all in a stride. I hope that you can taste some of that vibe in the food that she's going to send over. So that's Janet Sitole, Miss J. You can also find her on Instagram. She loves to travel, loves cooking. She's got a travel blog, and she's also a chef in training. And my goodness, that she brings some spunk into the kitchen. And the last person we're
Pasta
going to.
is coming out of the pot. Bellissima.
But did you test it? Is
What?
it gereed?
It's ready.
Is it al dente?
No. Let me just
David?
tell you.
Is it al dente? We've all learned what al dente is, which is what to the tooth, ne?
To the
To the teeth, to the tooth.
Yeah, I don't have a window because all the windows
Because
are
it mustn't be too soft. It must still have some.
Yeah, it's
That's,
myself, yeah.
am I right? You're not. I'm asking you.
Check, it's ready.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that at home. I mean, you're supposed to be a professional. Well, let's find out what more professional people are doing. Rakhi Shah is our fourth contestant, 42 years old. She is cooking with her family, her daughter and her husband at home. We found out about her very interesting background growing up in Kenya. They now make their lives here in Johannesburg. She also has a blog called Chakula, which means food in Swahili, talking about the bold flavors she grew up with and how even though in terms of her health, she now has to focus on having all natural ingredients. That hasn't stopped her.
7 minutes left, guys. 7 minutes left.
We must talk quickly now.
Yeah.
Rakhi, how are things going there? That plate looks beautiful from where I'm standing.
It's touch and go because with fish, we can't get the timing so right. So, we're good. I think we're good.
Okay, so remind us very quickly what you're putting on that plate.
Okay, so we've got char-grilled broccoli dressed in some burnt sage with crispy garlic and chili. And then I've got a burnt leek and sour cream sauce, some fresh salsa with the cucumber, the fish eggs, the olives and the capers, and then pan-seared salmon with the crispy skin.
Now, we know that you're impressed with what you've done.
Unbelievable.
But what has your little sous chef, what does she think about what Mommy has dished up tonight?
What do you think of what I've done to cook tonight? Would you eat it yourself?
Would you eat it?
So I've got chili. She would
Thumbs
eat
up.
it.
Thumbs up. Is it a thumbs up for Mommy? Yes, a thumbs up. Who cares what David Hicks thinks? It's a thumbs up for Mommy. Okay, we have got how much time, David?
Guys, we have 6 minutes left. Please, Mr. Fasty is probably outside the door right now. There's people grabbing their heads in the background, which concerns me. But
Listen,
I'm gonna
cooking-
quickly play.
So now, what are you doing? You've also only got 5 minutes.
Exactly.
So
Can
go.
What are all your notes
It's
doing
my
here?
notes. Wag, man.
Machtig.
I need to know what to talk about. Okay.
So I'm just doing I'm going to start off with my pasta dish. Slightly unconventional. I'm going to put the sauce underneath. I'm not going to mix the sauce with the pasta. So this is the green peppercorn and sour cream. Hey?
The green pepper. Okay, I'm
Green
with you.
peppercorn and the sour cream.
Yeah, that you had the cucumbers.
Yeah.
You cooked. If you've just joined
yes.
us, David Hicks cooked the cucumber, mensen.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at the technique. Hey?
And look at that pasta. Premium pasta.
No, let me just tell you.
Bellissima is the word that
Bellissima.
comes to mind.
Okay, some hot and a bit of hot
Listen, this is a
cucumber.
work of art, eh?
Hey?
We had no tijd for a normal Friday night to do plating like this.
Exactly. What are you talking about?
I suppose
Yeah.
every time you cook food and put it in front of somebody you care for, including yourself, you should make the effort.
Exactly. So this is the first one. Just very, very simple but beautiful flavors. We're going to finish that off with a the touch of black pepper. Eh?
And what struck me is the color of that broccoli. You haven't overcooked it.
No.
There'll still be a bit of crunch.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
I mean, if it's beautiful and fresh, you only have to do so much to a beautiful piece of broccoli.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
Now, imagine,
Just season.
look how you're missing now. Do
No,
you
no,
think
no, you
you
must
salt
season.
bay? What is that guy?
You must
The guy who
always-
did the salt. Why must you do it
You've
from
got
up
to
high?
season because it's then spreads. If you do it close, you throw clumps. When you season from the
I
top,
just
you
thought it's
season
for
from
showing
the...
off.
Guys, we've got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes. Okay, so
So
the
here's
other
your
thing,
second dish.
So the other thing I did is I did this little, like a little pickle
So
almost,
is
like
this
a
almost like a
ceviche kind of a vibe.
starter, right?
This is a starter. I like eating these things, sort of, I like eating lots of starters.
So
I'm
just
not a
remi-
big main course guy. I like,
know.
if I go out, I like to eat like 4 or 5 starters, you know.
Which is not
Okay.
necessarily tapas, but it's just about.
But it is, it's sort of a
And you
tapas
did a
kind of vibe.
ceviche?
Yeah. So I did the pickled. So this is the pickled leek and
Cucumber.
and cucumber. All right. Hey,
So you did cook it first.
Dave. Yeah. The leek you have to cook first. So there's
Otherwise
the
it's too
sweet.
oniony.
So basically there's the sweet and the sour here. Okay. So the sweet of the pickle and the sour of the fish, because the fish. And then we're just going to put the salty. Hey.
The caveat.
I mean, just
the
Dave,
caveat.
pushing the boat out on a Friday night.
Okay, now show you Afne.
Hey. Yeah.
This is
Okay,
now a show.
so this is a seaweed caviar. Okay, looks like somebody plugged this stuff in before it got here. Anyhow, so this is a seaweed caviar.
Oh, but you know what? I'm tasting these flavors right here now. Just from
Exactly.
looking at it, it's like
And then I've got a couple of these, the
broccoli.
baby,
Guys, these are broccoli leaves.
the young ones.
Have you ever? I've never seen that.
Just the young leaves.
How
Please
does it
don't use
taste? Is
the-
it nutty?
Yeah, it is. It's kind
Ag,
of,
laat ek
but
proe. I'm not going to take
pretty, die kleintjies, nie groot blare
Okay,
probeer.
ek het nou die groot blare.
Yeah, yeah.
gevoel.
No, that's not so lekker. Okay, so there we go. There's a
Oh, it's
two.
quite nutty.
Yeah, it's lovely. Now, the
very
other
nice.
thing I forgot to do, sorry, is the olive and the caper I'm going to put with this because it can
Listen,
absorb
what's
those
the time?
flavors. Hey? We have got 2 minutes left, guys.
2 minutes, contestants. 2 minutes. David Higgs, 2 minutes.
So there we have it. So this is finished off with green olive and caper. Hey?
Listen,
Beautiful.
you brought your A game tonight, no?
Yes.
Verlede week was 'n dag braai,
No,
broodjie braai.
Sarah
This
put
is-
me on my toes yesterday. Let me- oh,
There's
last
no
week. Let me
bietjie
just tell you.
afshow. This is something else. This is very, very impressive.
Mona Lisa. Where's Mona Lisa?
Oh, where is Mona Lisa? Where are you? There we go. Mona Lisa is David's right-hand lady.
She's always hiding, cleaning up the chaos is what Mona Lisa is. I went to the back just now. She's actually watching the show.
Did he do okay tonight? The jury is out. Mona Lisa says there's competition to be had. Thank you so much for your help, Mona Lisa. What would we do without
so
her?
guys, what happens is, guys, in 1 minute 50 seconds, Mr. Frosty is going to arrive. Your plate will be in its cloche. It's a little plastic cloche. It'll be wrapped up in your box, and you're going to be sending this like this to me. In the next 15 minutes, I'll be receiving the 4 plates. And don't forget to take a photograph before you put the plastic lid on. If it's not great, put the plastic lid on first.
Yeah, and also in the Instagram world we live in, if you didn't take a photo, it didn't happen. Am I right? I mean,
Yes.
you've learned that now, haven't you?
I have learned that. So guys, yeah, there we go. We got some. Oop, I just froze there. We've just got that the salmon, the pasta with the fatty zimonis, and then I've just got the fresh ingredients.
Now you see that?
From Urban Foods and the guys from the Food Lovers Eateries.
Doesn't it just scream spring?
Hey?
Are you feeling yourself?
I am.
You're feeling yourself tonight. He's feeling it. He's feeling it. And so are some of our contestants as well. Tell them how much time they have.
Guys, we have literally 1 minute left. And we're definitely a lot smoother tonight, eh?
You think so?
Yeah, I haven't spoken so much.
Is that a good thing or bad? It means
that on
that
the
you haven't
screen?
had enough to drink. That's why.
Who's
She's
that on-
looking at it. How is that uncle cooking and drinking that much at the same time? She's got so much to learn about the David Higgs kitchen. Right, guys, we have got 35 seconds to go on the second episode of #Cooking for a Cause. We've had some seriously impressive ideas and dishes that our contestants have said they are dishing up, but the proof is going to be in the tasting, and David Higgs is going to be doing that shortly. As you can see, 18 seconds left. There's Janet.
15
Listen,
seconds.
Janet is done with you, hey? She's opening a bottle of Mum.
Bottle of Mum's opening there.
She's put her cloche on. Her job is done. There's no last minute packaging, and the countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stop the clock.
Lids
Put
on, everybody. Lids on.
the dishes. Take a photo and give us your name. There we go.
Please, guys, yeah, take photographs and please name your dishes.
Right. So, what we also need to find out, you've now been on this journey with us, our viewers, hashtag cooking for a cause. Some of you have said, I'm really hungry just from watching this. That's not our problem. You're going to have to make a plan after the show's done. Let us know on the different social media pages where you have been watching this, who you think is going to win. Because there have been some very interesting and different ideas. And I suppose if you think David Higgs has done an okay job. I like this dish. I like this dish.
Listen.
Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about the dishes, who you think is going to win, what you think about the show, what you want to see more of. We do pay attention to at least some of it.
Absolutely. The other thing is, the very important thing is that I'll be judging the food right now. I'll be tasting everything, making my decision. And then on Monday at 8 o'clock, we do a live crossing on my Instagram feed, and we do the announcement. So tune in for that. And obviously all of this is for the great Inner City Can Collective. The guys are doing incredible work. And what I like about what the guys are doing as well is that they network between NGOs. So if somebody needs something, they work with
help
each other.
Other out, and they're not just working in a silo. And I mean, gosh, we could all learn from that, can't we?
100%.
And if you want to find out, you can go onto their social media pages, but you can also go to Quicket, because if you go to Quicket, you can purchase the recipes from tonight, from week 2. You can also purchase the recipes from the first night. We also had some very interesting dishes, but with different ingredients. And that's an easy way of making a contribution to the work being done by the Inner City Can Collective. So that is it. That's our second hour of hashtag David Higgs' hashtag Cooking for a Cause. Some great dishes, some wonderful people we've met here in Johannesburg who have allowed us into your kitchen, and they've really brought the geest and the spirit, and they've put it all out on a plate, and they're going to let this guy over here taste and judge them. And then we'll all find out on Monday who's going to be the winner to go through to the grand finale in a few weeks' time, and then later in the week we'll announce who are the contestants who go through to the 3rd edition. David? You've survived, and you know, didn't do too badly. Well done.
Listen, everybody, have a lovely weekend. Stay safe, look after each other.
Indeed.
If you need to drink at home, and look after each other.
And more importantly, feed your family healthy food. And if you know of somebody who could do with a plate of food, do what you can to help them out as well. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody. Ciao.